Hey you guys, I'm so excited to get you guys introduced to LoveBy. LoveBy is a podcast that we are going to be focusing on self-love, self-care, mental health awareness, and everything in between. And also will be a healing space where we get real, we talk about life, real healing, and all of the stuff in between, and things that we don't necessarily say out loud. And I'm your host, Adria. I'm your host slash your homegirl slash your confidant slash your marriage and family therapist. And today we're getting into something a lot of us have felt but never really named, right? And or had some sort of shame around it. And the topic for today, plus for the rest of the month, is going to be bullying. And again, we're going to be talking about bullying. We're going to be unfolding what bullying is. And it's not just the schoolyard type where you push me, I push you, and we're kind of like getting on each other's nerves and things like that. I'm talking about the emotional, the sneaky, the kind that shows up in families and friendships and even relationships. I know that seems like a lot. And maybe it's not. I mean, maybe it's time to just start talking about it. And I know it sounds funny, especially the side for family, because a lot of the times we don't think that bullying is happening in our families, right? So it could come from our parents, it could come from our siblings, it can come from our relationship, our significant other. There's so many spaces and so many situations where bullying can happen. Let's take a moment and let's start breaking it all the way down. Like, literally, what is bullying, right? Bullying isn't just about fists or name calling. It can be emotional, verbal, online, low-key shade, and even spiritual. It doesn't just stop at 18. I know you think of bullying and you think of, okay, well, I'm grown. I'm not getting bullied. Yeah, grown folks really get bullied as well. And it's constantly happening. It's not something that you're shielded from. It's not something that it's not happening. It's honestly just not spoken about. So when it's not talked about, we carry it in our bodies, right? So it can show up as shame and silence and people pleasing and anxiety. And it's just like all of these emotions, just simply because we haven't fully, I would say, processed it. And even the thought of it, right? So like as I think about it myself, and I'm thinking, well, I'm 33 years old, like who's gonna bully me? The thought of it might sound funny, right? But it's actually not, because it happens quite often. And sometimes we gaslight ourselves and we are thinking, was I just being dramatic, or did that really just happen? And a lot of the times we're actually not being dramatic, right? A lot of the times we're just not trying to deal with it, and we possibly. So I'm talking about that little voice inside that says something felt off, and giving it some real language and some real love so that we can confront what bullying is, so that we can try to spread awareness, so that we all know that we're not alone, right? And right now, what we're going to do is I received like some anonymous questions, and I'm just going to be reading out these anonymous questions, and honestly answering them from my therapist lens as well as from personal experiences. And, I definitely love tea. So I'm ready to hear these questions and see what y'all were sending me and seeing how we can unpack this together. So one of the questions that was sent was question number 1. Was I really bullied, or am I just being too sensitive? And I love hearing that right there, that part, too sensitive. Like, why do I have to be sensitive? Why can't you be sensitive to my emotions and my sensitivity? Why does it automatically have to be that people project that onto you? And I'm thinking, nah, you're not too sensitive. You're emotionally in tuned. That's a strength and it's not a flaw. And also, emotional abuse is also real. Okay, so when we're hearing those, people telling you, oh, you're being too sensitive. Okay, well, you're not being sensitive to my feelings. So in reality, who's right and who's wrong, And then furthermore, let's talk about gaslighting and how it messes with your ability to trust your own feelings. So now I'm feeling a certain way, and then someone else is telling me that I should not be feeling this way, and or it's insane that they made you feel this way, yet when you have a feeling about it, you're the one that's wrong. And okay, granted, I'm not saying that anyone can make you feel any way, right? Because at the end of the day, it's up to you with how you feel about yourself and how you receive things and how you process whatever the emotion or the projection that someone else might have on you, right? However, I do think it is important to remember that everyone has feelings, everyone has emotions, and it's up to the person to internalize whatever that emotion might be, right? So it's just important to just feel it, process it, receive it, and reflect on it. Then it's up to you how you want to deal with that emotion. So again, you're not being too sensitive. You're just being a human being. Okay? So this is probably my favorite question now. And a lot of you guys are probably not going to like this one because you probably are the family bully. Let's be honest, you probably are the family bully. And the question is, can you be bullied by your own family? Oh my gosh, that one is a good one. And yes, you can be bullied by anyone, okay? Yes, I could be your bully, but I'm not your bully, okay? But seriously, you could be bullied by anyone. I remember I have 3 brothers. I would honestly say I have 4 brothers because my god brother was raised with us and he was always with us, and he's also my brother. But I have 3 brothers, and my brothers honestly taught me thick skin. My brothers taught me that at any point they're going to bother me. They're not going to respect my space. They're going to hit me, and I had to learn how to defend myself. I had to learn how to push someone back, and I had to learn about boundaries. And that is it. Is sometimes I feel like your own family doesn't have boundaries, or they don't know what boundaries is, and or even if they do know what boundaries is, right? They understand what boundaries are, but they just don't care. So, and it's funny when you're younger and you're growing up, and you think that it's okay, but it's not, because then you grow up and you grow up into an adult that you may not know boundaries yourself, you don't understand space, and you allow people to just walk all over you. And again, I need like all of the different cups of coffee, because all the caffeine I need with this question fully loaded about, can you be bullied by your family? You can be bullied by your siblings, by your parents, by your aunties, your cousins. Sometimes the bullying is masked as a joke, right? Like, ha ha ha, I'm just kidding. But honestly, that joke hurts, and you hurt my feelings. And in all reality of it, when we're joking around with each other and when we're, I would say, bothering each other, it shouldn't hurt other people's feelings, right? So that part of the emotional aspect, or the emotional side of bullying, right? Yes, we could joke around. You can say something to me, I can say something to you. We can joke, but at some point, a fine line has to be drawn, right? Where you're understanding that you hurt my feelings, and you're not going to continuously hurt my feelings, right? Because now you're respecting my boundaries. That's where boundaries kick in. And we feel like, okay, well, oh snap, actually I did hurt Adria, or I did hurt this person. Maybe I should chill. Maybe I should calm down. Maybe I should respect what this person is saying. Maybe I should respect their space. So again, you can be bullied by your own family, okay? Wow. Our next question is, this one is a good one. This one is probably my second favorite question. And this one is, what if I was the bully? And that is so interesting to me. Like, I really want us to sit with this one. What if I was the bully? And again, this goes back to what I was talking about in a little bit earlier, and it was when we take a moment to process, reflect, and understand how we treat other people. And are we respecting other people's space? Are we respecting what people are saying to us? And sometimes, and I would even say for myself, I think I've been a bully before. I think I've been in a space where I was hurt, and hurt people hurt other people. But it's extremely important to own it, to own whether you've hurt someone, whether you've bullied someone, right? So when we go back and we think about it, bullying is emotionally, physically, right? There's so many sides of bullying. It's not just, oh, I hit you, you hit me, I hit you back. I'm just like physically always bothering you. That is not just what bullying is. So it's really important that as we process and we think, have we've been bullies ourselves, that we really start to heal. We start to holding ourselves accountable, and we understand that it doesn't mean, that we need some sort of shame, or we need to like blame ourselves and say, okay, well, this was done to me, so I'm going to project that and I'm going to treat someone else like that. No, it's time to hold yourself accountable, and it's time to understand, okay, well, that something was done to me and something hurt me a lot. However, I don't need to be that way towards someone else. And even if, let's say, even if you're still feeling that way, you're still feeling like you can't get out of that emotion, you can't internalize that you physically hurt someone else, right? Or even on an emotional side. Listen, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many resources out there that's available if you were bullied yourself, and or if you are the bully, right? If you've projected that onto someone else, you can always get help. And you can always extend the help, even if you don't want to, let's say, apologize to someone. You can always extend yourself, and you can always, here's some resources, here's some stuff that you can do or see if I've hurt you in any way, shape, or form. And that right there can be enough. That right there can make someone's day go by so amazing. Just like by holding yourself accountable, and for letting that person know as well, like they're seen. Like, I know I hurt you, and I'm here, I see you, I feel it, and I'm sorry. And even if you physically don't say the words I'm sorry, a little resource can help. Is that I am going to share with you guys, if you've been bullied or if you witnessed bullying, just so that you guys have those resources available to you. And if you've asked yourself, what can I really do about bullying, right? You can start with stopbullying.gov. Another good resource is the Pacers National Bullying Prevention Center, and it's doing powerful work, especially for the youth and disabilities. And you can also see, different ways for you to get involved. Some websites, as well as I would say apps, is you can start with the No Bullying, works for school and shows how to handle conflict. So again, these are more or less, I would say, for youth. But also there is the Be Strong app. And again, these are just apps and or websites that you can just access through your phone. So literally, as you're listening to my podcast right now, you can just type this up and you can just see, you can spread it, spread the awareness, share it, go on Facebook, go on Instagram. And again, these are like accessible to you immediately, like right now. If you really wanted to look up some bullying resources, and just for everyone to know, which for me, I personally like it just because I want to know what's out there. I want to know how, if I can assist someone and I can give out resources, especially when people don't know or they don't know where to start looking or sharing. It's available immediately. And again, I'm going to continue on with our questions. I also wanted to let you guys know that you can continue to share questions, stories, anything. You guys can email me at LoveByLLC@gmail.com. You can visit my website at www.LoveByLLC.com, or go on social media and you can, I guess, DM me on or at LoveByLLC. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channels and anywhere you listen to your podcast. So I couldn't read out all of the questions that were sent over. However, I felt like these questions were going to really resonate with people. And again, we're going to be talking about bullying all month long. And I just wanted to let you guys know that you can continue to share your questions, your stories, any comments. Like, I really just want to know all the tea. So honestly, if you have any bullying stories, if you've bullied yourself, that's very interesting. I would love to hear this. And again, there's always growth, there's always change. We're not here to judge or anything. Please share your stories, share your questions, whether you want to be anonymous or if you want to share. Go ahead and send me an email on LoveByLLC@gmail.com. You can visit my website, www.LoveByLLC.com, and or social media. If you go on Instagram at LoveByLLC. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and anywhere you guys hear your podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited to continue to hear all of these questions and these stories, and for us to spread awareness. I'm very, very excited about this. So let's continue our last question. Okay. Our last question is very touching. Very, very touching. And our last question is, why didn't anyone help me? And wow, that was very deep. Very, very deep. And I just want to say, I'm sorry if you've been in a situation like this and you did not get help and people were around and didn't know. But again, it's our job and it's my job now to continue to spread awareness. And we're on a mission so that when people are witnessing things like this, they can step in, they can intervene. And intervening can honestly be, you know, someone like you telling someone, hey, stop. Like, what are you doing? You know? And I just wanted to say that sometimes the people around us, they don't know, or they saw and they looked away. You know, sometimes people don't know how to help. Sometimes people feel even being outside is a little awkward for them, right? And they don't know how to intervene. And I understand that much more, right? Staying shut and not receiving the help that you needed or the help that you thought, but being silent about it, especially when you feel that and you're anxious about it and you're feeling it in your insides, it's so much more important for you to actually speak up about it and allow yourself to grieve that, allow yourself to grieve that moment, but also feeling empowered, I think, is extremely important. Once you break that silence and you feel empowered after, and you feel like, okay, these are the steps that I'm going to take to A, help myself, B, heal, and C, if I see something, I'm going to say something and I will intervene. I think that it's extremely important for that. And I wanted to take this moment just to breathe, just to take a moment and to breathe in and exhale out. And just think about this version of you that was mistreated, overlooked, or even if you felt small. And just know that you don't have to live in that version of yourself. At any point, you can change. You can let go of your old self. And again, we're always looking to grow, right? We're always looking to change. We're always looking to evolve. We're humans. We're not here out on earth to just remain the same and remain in that same hurt and remain in that shameful feeling. No, we're really here to grow and to evolve and to know that, okay, that happened, but guess what? That is not who I am. That is not my story. That is not Adria's story. That is not your story. Your story is to evolve and to not sit in that hurt and know that we can help other people. I think that is extremely important to remember that you went through this, but now the next step is, okay, we're going to heal, and we're going to heal together again. We're not going to heal by ourselves, and you're thinking that you're on this mission by yourself, because guess what? You got me, okay? And anyone that has me and my amazing self knows that I'm there for you. I will be there for you. I will be there for you emotionally. I will be there for you to help you grow. And I will be there for you to help you spread the word so that other people that are dealing with this right now, I have some homework for you guys, okay? I feel like a teacher, a school teacher. I have some homework and this is what we're going to do. No, but seriously, I have some homework and we're going to expand on that on my week 2 episode. So again, you better stay tuned. And today's homework is going to be this. I want you guys to take a moment and I want you guys to sit down and in a safe space where you can just honestly be there for a minute or two, or even if you have 5 minutes where you can sit with yourself, use calm, nice lighting, and just take a moment to breathe in and out and grab a pencil and a journal or even a piece of paper. It could be on your phone or your notes section, and you're going to write this out, right? And the journal prompt is, if I could speak to the younger me who felt unsafe or unheard, what would I say to them now? And honestly, write that out, and I want you guys to take a moment and answer that. And you can write a letter to yourself, you can send yourself a voice note, and throughout that, I want you guys to also set one boundary for yourself, okay? And that's it. That's all you have to do. And then I want us to expand on that. If you want to share it anonymously, you can go on my website, you can go on my Instagram, you can fill out that questionnaire, and you can ask me any questions you're afraid to ask, any stories you want to talk about. Again, I want you guys to join the conversation. I want you guys to drop comments. I really want to know. And I mean, it's time for some tea. I'm always ready, I'm always listening. And again, thank you for showing up for yourself today. You're not sensitive, you're not broken. It's not too late to heal. Thank you. And I wanted to just end with this right here. The softest part of you were never meant to be hardened. They were meant to be honored, okay? Always remember that throughout the week. If you want to write that down, if you want to rewatch my episode, but just remember that. And I also wanted to let you guys know that next week's episode, just a little sneak peek, little sneak peek, we're gonna be unpacking how bullying impacts your sense of self and what it looks like to take your worth back. Okay? That's gonna be next week's episode. So again, if you're new and this is the first episode for LoveBy, I'm your host, Adria. I'm here on a mission to spread awareness, self-care, self-love, mental health awareness. I'm here as a host, as a therapist, as a friend. I'm here just spreading the word, and I would love to hear from you guys, and you guys stay tuned. Bye.